Too often, our most vital community memories live on platforms we don't control, vulnerable to censorship, corporate decisions, or simple technical failure. What if marginalized communities could build their own resilient archives? What if peer-to-peer networks could help disparate voices come together to construct a more pluralistic understanding of the past? Gray Area, TechSoup, and the Filecoin Foundation for the Decentralized Web launched the Cultural Memory Lab to address these challenges. The lab is an incubator empowering grassroots archives, libraries, and cultural organizations to explore how decentralized technologies can help build resilient, community-owned archives, preserving the stories that have too often been excluded from traditional collections.
I'm not originally from Kansas City. I moved here in 2021. So when I moved here, it was my goal to find Black queer community. It was very hard to find people, and it became this larger question. What is the prevalence of Black queer people at all in Kansas City? So I decided to found this Black queer community archive, BQKC, and address the pain points that I and elders are facing working with institutional archives. A big aspect of their story is this Black gay bar that used to be called Soki's in downtown Kansas City from 1993 to 2004. That was an awesome display of like Black queer pageantry and ballroom in Kansas City that was ultimately shut down by an $850 million gentrification project. Not only did I feel like the archive was important for preserving stories, of course, but I feel like archives need to be actively responsive to the history they're collecting.
So the Mobility Independence Foundation was founded by Thomas Reeder. He has osteogenesis imperfecta type 3, and he was stuck in a house for a number of years because he was not given adequate access to a power wheelchair. So Thomas had this experience and decided that he wanted to make it so that people can get the chairs they need. People can repair the chairs when they need them repaired, and people are not waiting on these systems that are really kind of designed to fail us. So that started the Mobility Independence Foundation and their designs of open source mobility devices. And the way that this all ties back around to cultural memory is that disabled people historically, like, we do what we need to do to survive, and people rely on community and mutual aid and whatever things they can do to scrape by. But this knowledge and this information is not preserved.
I'm George. I'm working in the Myanmar Internet Project. Our project started in 2022. One of the aims of our project is to document the key milestones in the country turbulent online history, from early internet shutdown and social media, pluralist atrocities to the digitally orchestrated 2021 COP.
Over 6 months, cohort members joined Gray Area's D-Web for Creators course, received microgrants, and worked with technical mentors. Together, they explored how blockchain-based platforms, distributed file storage, and peer-to-peer networking can create new modalities for collecting, preserving, and sharing community-generated cultural artifacts, gaining the knowledge and confidence to preserve their histories with resilience, equity, and cultural integrity.
Taking part in the Cultural Memory Lab, not only am I using it like for the archive, but I think it's helpful for me and my communities overall because I'm like readily trying to think about, how do I spread this to grassroots orgs here? How can they use IPFS or how can they build their own servers? So the first thing I can show is like my router, of course. So this is like my dashboard for my server that we built through the D-Web for Creators course. Through this, I was able to put the archive onto the server. Being served through my server, which is like really, really cool. It's just like, a Raspberry Pi in my apartment that has all the materials from the archive, which is so exciting.
Effectively, like, our big concern with regards to using centralized services is that at the end of the day, if our designs become widely available and people can build them themselves or go to local vendors to get them built, we will be going up against a multi-million or billion-dollar industry. So it is important to us that information about this can supersede centralized services so that we are in control of the hosting, as well as we want these designs to be available in any country. So this is our very bare bones archive. We go on to MIF promo materials. We have posters from Arizona State University. We have our documentary poster. We have a number of kind of quotes that we've used on our website and various social media Yeah, it's a decentralized preservation experiment at the moment.
By keeping track of things like internet shutdown, censorship, or online surveillance, we create evidence that can be used by the human rights group, the media, and international organizations to push for accountability. It also helps raise awareness around the world about how people's rights are being restricted, but in the long run, these records serve as a historical reference to understand what happened, why it mattered, and how we can work to prevent it in the future. We had recently started using a Web3 storage platform to share our reports. I will FFDW links. This shift has made a big difference. It helps us keep our data safer and more accessible.
The Cultural Memory Lab demonstrates how emerging technologies can serve as critical infrastructure for democratizing access to history. When communities control their own archives, we get closer to a world where collective memory truly reflects the diversity of human experience. Want to start your own decentralized archive? Download our open guide to get started. The Cultural Memory Lab is just the beginning of a movement to widen the aperture through which we view the past.